Greetings to all the students. I hope you are studying well. I welcome you all on the YouTube platform of nextias in our daily news analysis program, an initiative of the nextias where we discuss very major articles published in the newspapers The Hindu and the Indian Express. And with the help of today's video, we are going to cover 5 important articles. First 4 for the prelims will be USAID, G20, Purchasing Managers Index, PMI, and ICC Champions Trophy. And in the decoded section, we are going to cover a very important section which covers that India and Pakistan hold talks for LOC tensions. So now let's start with the explained topics of today's daily news analysis. The first visible over our screen is USAID meddling charge deeply troubling, the statement given by the Ministry of External Affairs. So now the thing that we need to understand is what is USAID and how it is important or how it's playing its crucial role in India. Moving ahead, first of all, USAID. It is an independent federal agency responsible for administration, civil foreign aid and development assistance from the side of USA to the host countries. It was established in 1961 by the President John F. Kennedy, and it plays a key role in advancing US foreign policy by promoting economic growth, by promoting democratic cultures, institutions, and humanitarian relief worldwide. Now its mission and its objectives. Its first mission is to promote the global stability and the economic development by addressing challenges such as poverty, public health care, disaster response, environmental sustainability, and the governance. And it has been said that it is working with over 100 of the countries, collaborating with governments, NGOs, international organizations to implement the various initiatives which is suitable for one's particular country. The key areas of focus of USAID. The first is global health. It ensures health equity and disease prevention. Second, humanitarian assistance, providing emergency relief and support to the people. Third, democracy and governance. It promotes political stability and human rights to promote democratic institutions or strengthen the democratic institutions in a country. Fourth, economic development. It fosters economic growth which is helpful in poverty eradication, reducing unemployment, and other socio-economic welfare aspects. And the fifth, which is very major, climate and environment. It helps in addressing climate change and works for the better protection of environment. Now the key areas of USAID in India. The programs that are being developed or being helpful from USAID to India. The first, health and nutrition. The first aspect is health and nutrition. So in it, the maternal and child health programs are going on. The tuberculosis eradication or control program is going on. HIV AIDS prevention and treatment program is going on. COVID-19 response for say vaccine development, vaccine distribution, strengthening the healthcare equipments, as all those responsibilities that was done with the help of USAID in India during COVID time. Second, renewable energy and climate change. First is greening the grid program. That means connecting the solar and the wind programs into a national grid so that the more utilization can take place. Second, the PACE 2.0. PACE is partnership to advance clean energy deployment. That means for better and effective use of clean energy in India. Third, water resource management. For say we can say a conservation of water so that the better utilization can take place. The third is agriculture and food security. The first initiative is Feed the Future initiative. The Feed the Future initiative is for augmenting the agriculture production and farmers' income in India. Agriculture Innovation Partnership. It is helpful in promoting climate resilient crops in India. Food fortification programs to tackle a very major socio-economic problem like malnutrition in India. Fourth, education and workforce development. For say partnership for higher education, promoting girls education and girls empowerment programs in India, trying to enhance the school enrollment ratio for girls in India. Third, vocational training programs to develop skills among the youth of India. Fifth is economic growth and digital development. Financial inclusion program to bring more and more people into the financial domain. Women's economic empowerment and initiatives like smart cities initiatives. So those are the sections which are being governed in India with the help of USAID. Now this is one practice question over your screen. Now the second topic. The article says India, China worked hard to save G20. It's a statement given by our MEA, Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar. So now this is the previous year question papers of G20 that has been asked by the UPSC. This shows the importance of the topic. Now let's dive into the importance of G20, the exact domains of G20. It was founded in 1999 as a response to Asian financial crisis. These kind of informations are being given by UPSC as a statement. So these are of great importance with respect to your prelims examination. Initially as a forum for finance minister and central bank governors. Second, it was upgraded in 2008 to include heads of state government in response to global financial crisis. G20 summit is held annually under the leadership of rotating presidency. That means every single year a meeting of G20 is taking place, but the presidency is being changing among the 20 members of the G20. The presidency sets the agenda and hosts the summit, as did by India in 2023 in the month of September. Members, it is 20 plus 1. That means 19 members, 1 European Union and 1 African Union, which was included as one of the members in G20 2023 conducted in India. Right? It represents 85% of the global GDP and 75% of the global trade, and it has, or it shows, 2/3 of the global population. Right? In your screen, it is visible the number of or the members of the G20. Now the key roles of G20. The first is economic governance. It focuses on managing global economic policies and its regulations. Second, climate change. It addresses environmental challenges and promotes sustainable practices. Third, very important, geopolitical stability. It tries to involve a mechanism of maintaining peace among the members or in different regions and responding to the crisis in a one single voice, or I would say globally. Fourth, technological innovation. Explores advancements in technology and their global impact. For example, there is one single thing which is being conducted or being governing in Germany, which is they are trying to understand the misuse that AI can have upon the different domains. Fifth, multilateral coordination. It emphasizes collaboration among multiple countries for effective governance. Now, India's achievement in G20, very important key points with respect to your prelims examination. First, the African Union's permanent membership in 2023, which showcases India's efforts to boost global South cooperation. Second, launch of Global Biofuel Alliance to enhance the clean energy transition. Third, digital public infrastructure model promotion for say UPI, Aadhaar, etc. COVID framework. Fourth, commitment to debt restructuring for developing nations so that the better utilization of money can take place and the effectiveness of the money can be countered in different domains with respect to the developing countries' needs. Fifth, it pushes for multilateral bank reforms for say Asian Development Bank, IMF, World Bank, these kind of things. Now this is the practice question that you people need to practice. The third topic is Purchasing Managers Index over your screen. Apart from Index of Industrial Production, IIP, PMI holds a great importance with respect to UPSC prelims examination. And why it is very important at this moment? Because it shows that Flash India PMI expanded to 60.6 in February on a robust service sector indicators. Now, what about the PMI? It is a purchasing manager index, is a key economic indicator used to measure the health of manufacturing and servicing sector. Mind this thing, manufacturing A and services B, both the sectors. It provides insight into business conditions, production levels, employment levels, and supply and chain activities of a one particular economy. In India, the PMI expansion is often used to assess economic growth, trends, and the effectiveness of the policies of a particular sector. And in India, it is prepared by S&P Global and IHS Market. This is all very important with respect to your prelims again. Now, how PMI is calculated? So, for say, if PMI is above 50, it indicates an expansion in the business activity. If it is exactly 50, it indicates that there is no change in the business activity of a particular country. And if it below 50, it indicates the contraction in the business activity of a particular country. Now, the components of PMI. The first is new orders. It measures demand for goods and services. Second, employment trends for say hiring and layoff of in the industry. Third, stock of purchases for say inventory levels in the businesses. Fourth, the output levels that shows the production activity in the manufacturing process in a particular country. And fifth, supplier delivery time that shows the efficiency of your supply chain management. Now, the PMI expansion in India, certain recent trends. You go with the data of 2022 to January 2024, we see that there was first high and then high, 56, 57, 53. So, we can have continuous growth. With respect to services PMI, we have witnessed 54, 56, 58. That again we can say continuous growth. That means it shows the robustness in the manufacturing and the services aspect in India or sector in India. Now, comparison with the global PMI trends, that means compared with the other countries. For say in India, services, this is services, and this is the yellow one is manufacturing. In India 58, China 49.2, that means India is getting ahead of China. USA 50.8, UK 48.6, Eurozone 47.8. This shows the robustness of Indian service sector. Contrary to this part for say services, sorry, that was manufacturing, but now about the services. Services 58, 52 for China, 54 for USA, 53.7 for UK, and 50 for Eurozone. Even this shows services robustness compared to the other countries about India. This shows that Indian economy is in a better condition. Now, this is a very practice question, right? Practice it. Now, the last topic of today's video, that is ICC Champions Trophy. Some of you might be thinking that why ICC Champions Trophy we are trying to discover or we are trying to cover with the help of this video, to make sure that you understand that UPSC in the miscellaneous sections in the previous year's papers for say in 2021 has asked a question based on ICC World Test Championship. This is of great importance, right? So now let's deep dive into ICC part. It is often dubbed as Mini World Cup, an international cricket tournament organized by International Cricket Council, which is ICC. It was first held in 1998 as the ICC Knockout Tournament and was renamed as a Champions Trophy in 2002. Played in one-day international format, and it is considered the second most prestigious ICC event after the ICC Cricket World Cup. Now, the rules and the formats. The tournament features top-ranked ODI teams, typically between 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 sometimes. It follows a round-robin and knockout format for say first group stage, then afterwards semi-finals, then afterwards finals. Matches are played under ODI standard, including 50 overs per inning. The decision review system DRS is used to assess umpires. Now, the rules for winning the title, very important thing. Teams wins the final is crowned as the champion. If This is the first condition, this is the second condition, this is the third condition. If the final is abundant, no match is taking place, then both the teams will be declared as a winners. Both the teams are the joint winners. Now the third case, if the tie is taking place in the final over or in the final match, for say India and Pakistan match is going on and India scored 3-0-2, and in response to that, Pakistan in 50 overs match has scored 3-0-2. That means 3-0-2 versus 3-0-2, a match is tied. So now if the match is tied, then there is a game called super over. Super over, a tie breaking method. Super over is a tie breaking method where two and things are of great importance with respect to this tie. First, one over is being played by both the teams. First thing. Second thing, each team will allow to play two batsmen to play 6 balls, and whomsoever team will score the highest runs in 6 balls will be considered as a winner. Now suppose if again both India and Pakistan in super over has scored 14 runs, that means again there is a tie in super over. Then afterwards again another super over is being placed, and it will continue until and unless the winner is not being declared. Right? Now winning teams, historical perspective, India and Sri Lanka 2002 joint winners due to rain affected final. India in 2013 has defeated England in a rain shortened final. Pakistan won their first title by defeating India in 2017. Now highest run scorer is Chris Gayle and the best bowler is Kyle Mills from New Zealand and Chris Gayle from West Indies. Now this is again one practice question which is visible over your screen. So now let's start with today's decoded topic, that is India-Pakistan Army hold talks on LOC. This topic is of great importance with respect to paper 3 internal security. Now this is the practice question. No, sorry, I would say the previous question papers has been asked by the UPSC. Now let's jump into it, the introduction part. LOC, the line of control, or I say the line of actual control, is a 70-kilometer de facto border driving Jammu and Kashmir between India and Pakistan, and it has been as a flashpoint of tension between the two nations since 1947 partition. What happened? 1947 for Jammu and Kashmir, Maharaja. Now we are discussing what exactly were the reasons that led to this flashpoint for tensions. So the J&K Maharaja initially sought independence, but later acceded in India in exchange of military support. Against Pakistani invaders. This led to a war between India and Pakistan. In 1947-48. Right? Led to a war between India and Pakistan in 1947-48. And it led to the establishment of Karachi Agreement. 1949, which created a UN monitored ceasefire line. Right? This is exactly the line of actual control. The genesis of line of actual control lies in the war between India and Pakistan that took place in 1947-48. Right? But This is the part that despite three major wars, 1947, the war we have just talked, 65, 99, 71 as well, and recurring skirmishes, both nations have periodically engaged in dialogue to stabilize the region, or I would say to promote a regional stability. Now, the peace efforts that has been there from both sides of the countries. For say in 01, we know that in 1971 there was a war between India and Pakistan, and in that particular war it led to the creation of Bangladesh. Creation of Bangladesh. The eastern part became the Bangladesh, and the western army, the western Pakistani army surrendered. It led to the Shimla Agreement, 1972. In its agreement, India and Pakistan agreed to resolve disputes bilaterally, establishing the LOC as a temporary boundary. So the point that I was trying to convey, that the establishment of this UN monitored ceasefire line started in 1947-48, but completed as an entire LOC in Shimla Agreement 1972. This point is of great importance. Second, a ceasefire agreement. It was a landmark truce, reduced violence significantly, and initiated cross LOC trade and bus services. Composite dialogue for say focused discussion on Kashmir, Siachen, terrorism, but it was halted after 2008 Mumbai terror attack by Lashkar-e-Toyaba. Again, the peace effort between 2015-16, we may initiate that secret talks on Kashmir autonomy and LOC delimitarization. It took place between India and Pakistan, but it again derailed after 2016 Uri attack and associated attack did by India, right? Now, certain recent developments. The recent development for say in 2021 there was a LOC ceasefire renewal that took place. It was the India and Pakistan agreed to observe 2033 ceasefire agreement strictly. It has certain repercussions, or I would say the positive ramifications. It had that the ceasefire violation decreased significantly from 2014 to 30, when we have only 30 cases. 30 cases of ceasefire violation between 21 to 23 compared to the 5335 in previous ceasefire violations. Right? The significant achievement for India. Even the second part, the civilian casualties of Jammu and Kashmir fell by 90%. This is the first thing. Second thing, back channel stock initiated. Again, with the help of the UAE, India or Pakistan began to reduce tensions again. And it resulted into that Pakistan initially resumed the trade with India, but again halted because of certain internal pressures. Third, the diplomatic thaw in 2023. For say, both the nations exchanged diplomatic gestures, but no major dialogue resumed. Especially we know that even there were certain peace efforts. I would say that our Prime Minister Modi in 2018 called the Pakistani counterpart and wished him for the IMF deal. But even afterwards, we have been say that after so much of the efforts, the issue has been remained silent. Now, the key data analysis based on the ceasefire violation we just talked. For say, ceasefire violation pre-2021 was 3,000 to 5,000, but post-2031 below 30, that was 30. Civilian death reduced to below 20. The cross LOC trade, right, it was 1 billion in 2018, but it halted since 2019. Now, India's efforts to maintain stability at the LOC. So, for say, first effort from the side of India is strengthening border infrastructure and surveillance. So, for say, the first is infrastructure fortification, for say, construction of bunkers and fortification of protect border villages from the shelling. B, surveillance technology. better surveillance with the help of drones and thermal cameras for monitoring LOCs. The second, diplomatic engagement. Track to diplomacy has been there, and they're trying to build confidence building measures for, say, cross border trade. A better people to people exchange can take place. Third, counter inflation measures. One, deterrent efforts. The BSF along the LOC has increased the patrolling, right? So the increased patrolling along the LOC by BSF. Second, counter infiltration operations for, say, conducting targeted operations to block terrorist incursion from Pakistani administered Kashmir. This is perhaps all those issues were derailed because of two major things. Especially with this counter infiltration of operation, I remember that extrajudicial killings. Pakistan accused India of operating, or I would say assassinating, militants on Pakistani soil. Right? Because of these things, again, we can witness that the derailment is taking place. Now, the challenges to sustain peace. Again, the first is Kashmir dispute. We know that India had G20 summit 2023 in Srinagar, which was opposed by Pakistan. So, revocation of Article 370 along with this G20 conducting G20 summit in the Srinagar has charged the Pakistan against or with anti-India sentiments. B. Cross-border terrorism. India accuses Pakistan of harboring groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba. Even India asked Hafiz Saeed from Pakistan and Pakistan denied it. So these are those issues which are still a challenge between the two nations with respect to the peace. Third, domestic politics. For, say, hardliners in both the countries are framed as the weaknesses or the weakness. Fourth, military posturing. The troop concentrations and artillery deployments along the LOC persist and it's even increasing. It creates a atmosphere of mistrust between the nations, and perhaps that is the reason the LOC talk is being conducted by the both countries at this moment. And one statement, that is why our EAM, External Affairs Minister, said that the era of uninterrupted dialogue is over. EM said that the era of uninterrupted dialogue is over. This shows that India is keen to have better relations or to hold the talk with respect to the LOC with Pakistan. Now, the pathways to reduce the tensions. The statement of EAM shows that India is ready to have talks with the Pakistan. First thing, but now there are certain steps that need to be followed. First is expand CBM, confidence building measures. How? Resume the trade and the bus services can foster economic ties and better humanitarian connections. Second, revive back channel diplomacy. The focused negotiation can lead to incremental agreements and issue like demilitarization along the LOC and the Siachen, etc. Third, address humanitarian issues. Collaboration or disaster response can strengthen cooperation and empathy, for, say, as happened in Pakistan flood issue, right? India's support to the Pakistan in 2018. Fourth, multilateral engagement, utilizing international platforms for, say, SCO, for, say, revival of SAARC, I would say, is of great importance, not only related to India and Pakistan relationship, but also having a better regional stability in entire South Asian region, right? And at the last, as former Pakistani diplomat Hussain Haqqani notes that India and Pakistan must choose between perpetual hostility or a shared future. And our statement of our EAM shows that India is choosing the shared future. This is a practice question that you people should practice. This is from our side. And I hope that with the help of these videos, my dear friends, you are studying a lot and understanding what topic to be studied and in what extent, in what manner to be studied for your better understanding of UPSC examination. Keep preparing and keep watching daily news analysis. Thank you very much.